It's not uncommon for me to find ideas like if it weren't for Enki, we wouldn't have even existed, or Enlil is the enemy of humanity. Some recent books present the idea that Enki might be Jesus himself, who at some point by some advanced method incarnated as a man in the person of Jesus to save us, and then returned to his original body. This is a very interesting theory, but there is not even concrete evidence that Jesus himself ever existed. It is more than anything else an act of faith and hope in the scriptures of the Hebrew people. Enlil is the true God, while Enki is the Serpent of Eden. In other cultures, roles are reversed. We have several divergent currents of ideas and thought, which can lead to wrong judgments about one and the other. What do we know about them? We know that Enlil is the son of Anu, with his queen consort Antu, who was also his half-sister. Therefore, Enlil was a legal successor of Anu to the throne of Nibiru by the law of the seed. Enki, on the other hand, was also the son of Anu, but with a concubine who was not related to Anu. Although Enki was the firstborn of Anu, he would only have the right to succession to the throne of Nibiru through the law of succession. We know that this issue of seed law and succession law was the cause of many conflicts, both in previous generations still in Nibiru, as well as between the two half-brothers, and also between their children and grandchildren already on Earth. The monarchical regime, custom in Nibiru and adopted on Earth, is one of the legacy that the Anunnaki left us, and we knew from our own history that the Game of Thrones has always been a reason for rivalries, murders and betrayals, which is not very different from our current system, where politicians fight each other using all kinds of dirty and fraudulent schemes to stay in power. No news. Anyway, leaving aside the question of succession to the throne, which is a delicate matter, we see in the story of the two brothers moments of sincere fraternization and authentic affection. In addition to mutual respect, we need to see the two characters more closely. Come on, Enki, he was a brilliant scientist. He had great knowledge and a restless, inquisitive mind. He was a liberal thinker, and he sometimes forgot ethics a little in favor of science. Creator of Homo sapiens and proud of his achievement in genetic engineering, he was attached to his creation. Enlil was a military man and as such had a sense of organization and love for rules, which often drove him to extreme severity. He had a great responsibility and a great weight on his shoulders. From Earth mission, he owed Nibiru an account. Both had a woman who won their brothers' hearts. Ninhursag, their half-sister, she had been betrothed to Enki but was in love with Enlil. There was a trade-off in the story, but each one went about their own business as they could. Nobody killed themselves because of women. Enlil was faithful to his wife, and as far as is known, he had children only with her. Enki jumped about 1,000,000 times and spread children around the world. After the lab created Homo sapiens, he upgraded humanity in the most libertine way possible. First, he spawned Cro-Magnon man, seducing 2 Neanderthal women. Then he generated modern man, seducing a married Cro-Magnon woman. The Bible reported the first celebrated case of the horn in human history. Noah, as Lamech suspected, seemed to be the son of the gods and not his. When the conflicts between the two brothers seemed to have given way to maturity, it was their children and grandchildren who started all over again. At this moment, what is observed are two fathers of families trying to avoid conflicts and at the same time taking sides here and there in favor of their offspring. More human impossible. In fact, we see them as beings from another world who colonize the earth, and we forget that they are as human as we are, human subject to mistakes and successes. The same mistakes and rights that we, their creation, make every day since we started walking the earth. Sometimes it was Enlil who hit the jackpot and Enki stomped on the ball. Other times it was the other way around. Enlil took advantage of the flood to wipe out terrestrial humans, whom he never really wanted to come into being. At the time, he did the necessary cleaning on the planet, as there were not only humans created by Enki, but all kind of aberrations created in the lab. Enki in turn saved humanity through Ziusudra, the biblical Noah, but not on his own initiative, as he was prevented by an oath of silence, but by the intervention of the mysterious Galzu. His initiative or not, Enki saved modern man, that is us. When Enlil realized Enki's betrayal, it flew at his neck, and when Enki said, "Noah is my son," Enlil stopped the aggression. Enlil, realizing in the survival of the terrestrial human seed the will of the creator of all, blessed Noah and did not plan our end again. The Anunnaki then gave us civilization and taught us everything that we now know and apply in everyday life. We tend to defy one and demonize the other, and this is a result of our poor observation of history and how we absorb it, then influenced by our impressions. These two brothers do not represent good and evil, they represent ourselves in all aspects. What we hate in one and love in the other is our own reflection in the mirror. After all, we were made in their images and similarities. Enlil teaches us action, Enki teaches us patience. Enlil teaches us the art of war, Enki teaches us the art of pleasure. Enlil teaches us discipline, Enki teaches us contemplation. Enlil teaches us to be rational, Enki teaches us to be dreamers. Enlil teaches us responsibility, Enki teaches us to be light. Enlil teaches us faithfulness, Enki teaches us to break the rules. Enlil teaches us to forgive, Enki teaches us to overcome. There is no devil, no angel in this story. It is believed by many that approximately 445,000 years ago, the ancient astronauts from another planet in the cosmos landed on Earth looking for gold. The ancient Sumerians assert that they extracted their knowledge of the distant past from the teachings of the writings of the Anunnaki. But why did the Anunnaki leave Earth? Enduring mystery about why the Anunnaki leave Earth. What was the reason for their departure from Earth? What happened after the fall of Babylon? According to research, this mass destruction was due to a civil war between the clans of the Enki and Enlil. Ishtar and Marduk started the conflict. Marduk retook Babylon through Cyrus the Great of Persia in 539 BC. However, when all the Anunnaki left the earth, did Marduk stay here? Answers to these questions are found in the book of the End of Times by Zecharia Sitchin. According to this book, everything begins when the Second Pyramid War took place between two different clans. The Anunnaki Civil War, clans of Enki versus clans of Enlil. It was the civil war caused by Inanna, who wanted to control Africa and Egypt, which led to the Anunnaki to leave Earth. Inanna also wanted to further develop her governorate in India, so she had stolen ME templates with engineering skills. Marduk was disadvantaged and decided to build the city of Babylon and the Tower of Babel in order to reach the heavens. However, Enlil caused the confusion of language among the builders. That's when the Second Pyramid War broke out, with nuclear weapons destroying Sumer and the Sinai Peninsula spaceport. The city of Babylon escaped being attacked by the bombs and was able to develop under the dominance of one. With that dominion, all the kings of Babylon were obliged to worship Marduk. The Enuma Elish was directed to enhance it. Enlil's clan withdrew in defeat, abandoning certain important temples. Later, the cult of Marduk was displaced by that of the god Sin, due to the machinations of the high priestess of Sin, who brought her son Nabonidus to the throne of Babylon, taking Babylon back in honor of Marduk. Despite this, Marduk made a pact with Cyrus, the Great of Persia, to conquer Babylon in honor of the god. This conquest occurred on October 12, 539 BC. The conquest appears in the Cyrus cylinder and it was the fall of Babylon. According to Zecharia Sitchin, the Anunnaki left Earth in two separate groups. Enlil's clan came out first, following Marduk's defeat in the Second Pyramid War. The second exodus was more complete, as clans of both Enki and Enlil left after the taking of Babylon. The End of Time stipulates that all the gods left in ships from spaceports in America. According to the official story, that Sitchin narrative is not true. Neither Nazca nor Teotihuacan were spaceports for ancient aliens. Still, archaeologists have discovered very little about the fate of the Sumerian gods after Babylon and Assyria. A piece of crucial related information is in writings of the Hurrian and Hittite civilizations. They said that the Anunnaki were banished to the underworld by the new gods, such as Tarhun, Ariniti, and the Aes, Enki himself. So this alternate history of Sitchin is controversial. However, the researcher provides many logical connections of important points between historical sites, historical events, and mythology.